The Jewish Holocaust. The alleged murder of some 6 million Jews by the German Nazis during the Second World War. This notion has in recent years come under increasing fire from revisionists and historians. It seems as though there is a lot that is still unclear about these events. What if I told you that what you have learned in the history books was not an honest reflection of the truth? Today, we wish to present to you the facts. Facts which may come to you as a shock. Some of which have been hidden from the public for decades. Today we will be putting some of the mainstream theories under the scope for the purpose of analysis and revision. We will do so in a way that will enable you, the viewer, to make your own mind up. Some of you might be asking, why is Holocaust revision necessary? The answer, of course, is simple. No matter what the truth is, it's worth defending. The Holocaust is a historical event and not a matter of religion. As such, it is subject to the same kind of research, scrutiny and analysis as any other historical event. There is nothing anti-Semitic about revision. When ongoing research finds new evidence, or when critical researchers discover mistakes in old explanations, it often happens that old theories have to be changed or even abandoned. By revisionism we mean critically examining established theories and hypotheses in order to test their validity. With all that said and done, let's begin putting it all into perspective. In this first part, we wish to briefly demonstrate a bit of important history. The word Holocaust is mostly associated with what is regarded as the Jewish Holocaust, which is said that 6 million Jews were systematically murdered by Germans in concentration camps during World War II. Etymologically, a Holocaust is a complete burning, and the word was originally used in English back in the 13th century to describe a burnt offering, a sacrifice completely consumed by fire. However, many people around 1915 used the word to refer to Turkish massacres of Armenians. What is known as the Armenian Holocaust was the Ottoman government's systematic extermination of its minority Armenian subjects from their historic homeland. Within the territory constituting the present-day Republic of Turkey. The total number of people killed as a result has been estimated at between 1 and 1.5 million. So, how did it all happen? The Armenian genocide was premeditated by the year 1909, by a Young Turk committee composed entirely of displaced Balkan Jews in the format of a syncretist Jewish-Muslim sect. In 1909, the Jewish-led and Jewish-financed Committee for the Union and Progress overthrew the Turkish Empire, which at the time controlled Palestine, a nation which Zionist Jews have long sought to take and claim as their own. As the Masons started the 1897 revolution in France, with the slogan, "Liberty, Fraternity, Equality," Young Turks used the same slogan in their revolution of 1909. The founder of the Young Turks was a Jew by the name of Emanuel Karaso. Karaso set up the Young Turk Secret Society in the 1890s in Salonika, then part of Turkey, and now part of Greece. Karaso was also the Grand Master of an Italian Masonic lodge there, called Macedonia Resurrected. The lodge was the headquarters of the Young Turks, and all the top Young Turk leadership were members. During the Young Turk regime, Karaso continued to play a leading role. He met with the Sultan, to inform him that he was overthrown. Karaso was in charge of putting the Sultan under house arrest. He ran the Young Turk intelligence network in the Balkans. And he was in charge of all food supplies in the empire during World War I. It is ironic that 4 centuries after the Turkish sultans welcomed the expelled European Jews into Turkey, certain Jews belonging to secret societies and to Zionism will kick the sultan out of power early in 20th century, destroy the Ottoman Empire, and celebrated their victory by massacring by proxy almost the whole Christian Armenian people, 1.5 million Armenians, 500,000 Greeks, and 500,000 Christian Assyrians and Arameans. This, of course, is the version of history that is well documented but rarely spoken of. This Jewish coup d'état that overthrew the Sultan of Turkey was set, and on the road to much bigger things. They wanted to foment a war between Christians and Muslims, which they predicted would start in the Balkans and grow into a world war. The idea was that if Muslims, Christians, Slavs and Teuton fought a long and hard war, these Jews believed that they would be left standing in Jerusalem. These facts were well known back then and were very regularly recorded in literature and the media. Raphael Lemkin was explicitly moved by the Armenian annihilation to coin the word genocide in 1943 and define systematic and premeditated exterminations within legal parameters. Although for the Zionists, broadening the meaning of the word Holocaust to encompass murder of segments of other population groups is a vicious attempt to diminish the right of the Jewish survivors of this horror to point the finger at the perpetrators. There is great Jewish indignation at using the term Holocaust and regard its use in almost any other context as an infringement of trademark rights.
By unanimous consent of the United States Holocaust Memorial Council, this award will henceforth be known as the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum Elie Wiesel Award.
We remember the suffering, we remember the fire, but what about the other side? What did those who survived do with their survival?
Many people credit a Jewish man named Elie Wiesel with giving the term Holocaust its present meaning, but he does not feel that the word adequately describes the event and wishes it were used less frequently to describe significant occurrences as everyday tragedies. This perhaps is why he pushes to enforce the copyright, trademark, and service mark on the word Holocaust. In fact, the misuse of the word and the questioning of the Holocaust has landed people a jail sentence in some places, like France for an example. Elie Wiesel is a Jewish-American professor and Zionist think tank. He is the author of 57 books, including Night, a work based on his experiences as a prisoner in the Auschwitz concentration camps. Wiesel is also the advisory board chairman of the newspaper Algemene Journal. Wiesel was criticized by former DePaul University professor and political scientist Norman Finkelstein in his book The Holocaust Industry. Finkelstein accuses Wiesel of promoting the uniqueness doctrine, which holds, according to Finkelstein, the Holocaust as the paramount of evil and therefore historically incomparable to other genocides. Hundreds of World War II survivors and descendants of survivors have signed a letter, published as an advertisement in Saturday's New York Times, condemning the massacre of Palestinians in Gaza, and calling for a complete boycott of Israel. According to the letter, the condemnation was prompted by an advertisement written by Elie Wiesel and published in major news outlets worldwide, accusing Hamas of child sacrifice, and for comparing the group to the Nazis. The letter, signed by 327 Jewish survivors and descendants of survivors and sponsored by the International Jewish Anti-Zionist Network, accuses Wiesel of abuse of history in order to justify Israel's actions in the Gaza Strip. Since 2011, Wiesel has served as the chairman of the controversial Ir David Foundation Council. Ir David Foundation, commonly known as Elad, meaning to the City of David, is a Jerusalem-based, Israeli association which aims to strengthen the Jewish connection to Jerusalem. create a Jewish majority in Arab neighborhoods of East Jerusalem and renew the Jewish community in the city of David, which is also part of the neighborhood of Silwan. The foundation works to achieve its goals by tourism, education, archaeological excavations and obtaining homes in the area to establish a Jewish presence. Elie Wiesel has also been accused, for using the Holocaust, to justify the ever-expanding, illegal Israeli expansions into foreign territories.